Perfect. So, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to our very first podcast here at Hacklab Solutions. We are super excited today to have Mr. Anil Gopinath with us here in the podcast. He is the CEO and founder of Safety Catch, a social organization focused on imparting world class safety training and consulting services in the safety domain. Thank you, sir, for joining today. So, we will start with please introducing yourself. And you have been in this industry for over 30 years. So, what got you started in the safety industry and what keeps you going?
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity, first of all. And my entry into safety per se was not a choice, but it was by chance. Actually, I joined the Air Force in the year 1992, and
Okay.
the trade or the profession allocated for me was airfield safety operations.
Okay.
So before entering into the training, I think around 6 months before my entry into this profession, there was a loss of life in my family due to an accident. And I have personally experienced that pain or that loss of if a close family member dies because of an preventable accident, how much loss is going to be suffered by the family members, the friends, the whole like the group of people depending on that person.
Right.
So I was like I experienced that already at that age. And then when I came to know that I am going to join a profession where my primary responsibility will be saving people's lives, I was so very excited. And when I joined the Air Force through my training, I could understand many things, many aspects of basically it's aviation safety or airfield safety operations,
Okay.
providing safety to flying operations, aircraft rescue and firefighting, airfield safety
Right.
operations. All these domains were covered. So I did my studies with a lot of passion. I really want to delve into this profession or this particular because I told my experience, so I wanted to really involve myself, and because of which I become the topper of the batch. I got double promotion, etc. So this was my intro into this profession. Then after
Okay.
joining the profession, I understood that it's really challenging. It's not like a normal job dealing with emergencies, dealing with crashes, and a lot of responsibilities. There is no margin of error in the job.
Right.
So I got a lot of mentors, seniors, and
Right.
I still continued my passion for learning. And if you see, one of the aspect of safety or what I learned is you have to be continuously updated. You have to update yourself or you will become outdated. So that
Right.
updating trend I kept on and on even today. That is how I decided to become a trainer and consultant, because being a trainer and consultant means you have to continuously keep updating yourself and into various domains. After a few years of my service, uh, I was selected for deputation to United Nations UN peacekeeping
Okay.
operations in Congo, in Africa. That was a
Mm-hmm.
turning point, I can say, in my career where I really planned to switch over from aviation safety to occupational health and safety. So, because
Okay.
in UN, I got opportunity to interact with people from different countries, like people from Switzerland, United States, UK, and there I got opportunity to really understand that there is another field called occupational health and safety. So then I thought, okay, I should focus on that area also, whereby then I planned accordingly and I did some courses. The first course I could do was become a completing the US Department of Labor certified OSHA 30 hours train the trainer program, where you have to study the OSHA, the US standards of occupational health and safety, where we call 29 CFR 1910. That is a big standard of.
Okay.
So during that, I got more introduction and depth into the US standards of occupational health and safety. From there, my passion towards OHS started, and I
Okay.
further delved into that area.
Okay. Thank you. That has been an incredible journey for you, sir. So, as today's topic is safety leadership, how leaders can drive the culture of safety. So, I would like to ask you, in your experience, why does leadership matter so much when it comes to safety? And why can't companies, just bring out some rule book and leave everything on their
Yeah,
employees?
see, for any organization, becoming successful in their business or their operations is paramount. And leadership is very crucial for that. Leaders can make or break a business. When it comes to
Right.
leadership, and when you connect that leadership to safety, the real leaders, they understand the value of safety, or they, in other words, I can say they will make safety as their value. There are number of examples whereby organizations have achieved excellence by understanding the business case of occupational health and safety or safety and imbibing that into their leadership culture. One of the glaring example I always tell to my audience is you all leaders should know or read or understand the life of Mr. Paul O'Neill. Mr. Paul
Okay.
O'Neill joined Aluminum Company of America, Alcoa, way back in 1980s. I'm talking about when the whole organizations was going in loss after loss after loss. It was a huge organization, but due to various reasons, it went into loss beyond recovery point. Where as a
Okay.
last resort, the management thought, let us bring a new leader and see if something can work out. And
Right.
after interviewing a lot of people, they appointed Mr. Paul O'Neill. And Paul O'Neill did a thorough analysis of what made Alcoa is Aluminum Company of America, to fall to this place where they are now. And he found that one of the main reason for loss is loss of man hours, loss of productive man hours due to injury and illness.
Okay.
So he then made an idea, he made a plan. And the first meeting of the board meeting, a lot of people pulled, shareholders, media people were very inquisitive to know how this guy is going to make this organization again profitable. So they were
Right.
expecting sheaves of papers or PowerPoint presentations and all, but he came barehanded and he said, see, ladies and gentlemen, I have only one plan for making Alcoa profitable again. That is, I want to make Alcoa the safest workplace in the world.
Okay.
I just want to talk to my employees why they should be safe. So, safety, safety, and supreme safety. I'm going to focus on that. And you won't believe he did it. He did it with vigor. He made safety as a value. He has even changed the company's policy from some accidents are acceptable to no accident is acceptable. And the down the line,
Right.
people up to the worker level started thinking that there is a guy at the top who cares for me. And that compassion, they started working with what you can say like heart and soul. And you won't believe
Right.
he led the company for around 13 years. And in these 13 years, he When he took over, the turnover was around 9 billion US dollars, but when he left, it was 23 billion US dollars. And he focused on. So this is safety leadership.
Okay.
This is what the safe leaders should know,
Great.
that when you understand the value of safety and you being a role model, tell everybody that you should be safe. Work is secondary, your safety is paramount.
Yes.
And that gives
Right.
morale booster for the employees, and it is a reality. It is a reality because productive man hours will automatically come. That's what the leaders
Right.
should
Right.
think about safety. They should not think it as an expenditure. Whatever money
Right.
or budget we are spending for human safety, we should take it as an investment. So when they are
Right.
planning, the leaders, when they are planning about focusing about the budgeting of the project or the organization, like you make an investment in marketing, like you make an investment in
Yes.
products or HR, human
Mm-hmm.
resource. I would say rather the
Yes.
most important area you should focus on investment is the human safety. Because when you look after the safety of the people, productivity will automatically improve. Morale will be high.
Right.
There will not be
Yes.
presentism. There will be real work going on with enthusiasm, and automatically that
Right.
will enhance your productivity and profit. The leader's thought process should be with
Absolutely.
that level.
Absolutely, sir. Yes, that brings a very important thought to me. It's about
Yeah,
intrinsic motivation. So, for employees, it's not just about the extrinsic motivation, but also their intrinsic will of to work for the company and you know be
exactly.
better at their jobs. Right, sir. So, sir, very nice example because my next question was something on that topic. For example, I've heard a lot of companies talk about safety first, zero defect policy. I think every company has this policy now. But how do leaders actually make safety, a everyday activity and not just once in a 6 months kind of an
Very good question.
activity, right?
Appreciate that. See, when you say it has to be a everyday activity, not like something you remember safety only on the National Safety Day, hoisting a flag, or you remember safety
Yeah.
on your anniversary day, or you are putting some posters. Actually, safety should become a culture. And when you want to make safety a culture, it should start from the top. So, what
Right.
leaders think about safety, what leaders speak about safety, and what leaders act in safety is going to reflect down up to the worker level. Here,
Right.
recently, you might be knowing there is an international standard for occupational health and safety developed by the ISO, which is ISO 45001, like 9001 for quality, 14,000 for environment. For
Right.
safety, in 2020 only, they have published it, ISO 45001. That's international standard for safety, where the core area they are focusing, like there are, the key area starts from clause number 5, where the safety management system starts with leadership and workers' participation. All other things,
Okay.
even planning comes next, organizing come next, operations come next. The core area where the standard, I'm talking about international standard, which is now followed by all the countries in the world. Core area starting, the primary area starting is leadership and worker participation. So why they put it
Okay.
is because safety or occupational health and safety must be the culture of an organization. It is not something showcasing when it is required to get points, to get
Yes.
contracts. It has to be a culture,
Yeah.
actually. And again, the culture, from where it should start? It should start from the top. That is why leadership and
Right.
worker participation.
Perfect. Yeah. So the top and the bottom line, they should
The
be
top level
aligned
should
together.
display. The bottom line people are observing at you, each and every activity, the words you speak, the actions you do, whether you are really committed or you are just namesake giving some awards and rewards. The bottom line will understand, because
True.
nowadays generation Z people are coming as
Yes.
employees, workers. So they are very talented people, they will
Yeah.
understand. So from the leadership
Yeah.
perspective, the culture should start from the top.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir, for sharing such a nice insights and telling us about the new standards in safety. So, next thing I would like to talk about is some of the mistakes. You know, so what are some mistakes
Yeah.
which leaders make when they try to over focus on safety or try to
One of
implement
the
safety?
common mistake I have analyzed from the leaders part is that most of the leaders, they are happy when there are no negatives happening within the organization. For example, if there is no accidents for the last 5 years, 4 years, they are very happy. If there are no
Right.
major injuries, they are very happy. If they have, if they are able to achieve say around 1 million man hours or 5 million man hours without any LTI, we say lost time injury, they are happy. So they are more focusing on the absence of negatives, but they are not focusing on the presence of positives. The leaders
Okay.
should be happy when you see, okay, absence of negatives is good, but that's not a guarantee for
Yeah.
safety. Whereas the leaders should focus, where is my culture? What is the level of safety culture of my organization? How they are performing in the audits? What are the result of audits? And what are the results of like trainings effectiveness? Am I making my people competent? What am I doing? You have to measure these positives. You are not making your employees competent by giving them adequate training and resources, but you are happy that there was no accident for the past 5 years. That means you are waiting for an accident to happen. So this one mistake,
Right.
I
Right.
can see most of the leaders, today's safety leaders, they are very happy when there is an absence of negatives, but they are not focusing on the presence of positives. What are the positives? How is the risk
Right.
assessments going on in my organization? How am I, am I like really allocating sufficient budget to safety or not? Am I looking at my competency level again? That is, I want to make Alcoa the same level of my staff, enhancing the competency of my staff by providing them adequate training resources. Whatever is it, the quality of my PPEs. What quality of my, when you are happy that you don't have accident for the last 5 years, but when you go for purchasing the PPE, you go for L1, low quotation.
Okay.
So this mistake, they are comfortable in their own comfort
Right.
zone. So this thought process should change among the leaders. They should now start focusing on how much positives am I making in my organization. That approach should change.
Nice. Nice. Yes, sir. I mean, it's like a thought change, like thinking shift from the negatives to the positives. I think it's a very
Yeah,
important point we all should take note of.
exactly.
Okay, so sir, let's take a scenario. Suppose I am a manager who is juggling multiple priorities, like safety, productivity, other things,
Yeah,
right? So, what
yeah.
would be your best advice for me?
So generally, at a manager level, especially if you talk about safety managers, they are really sandwiched.
Okay,
Their position is like a sandwich. Whereas on top, they have to convince the management. At the bottom, they have to convince the employees. So that's really a juggler's job. But real safety leaders or safety managers, they have to tackle this problem. They have to understand that yes, sir, we are fighting for something which is invisible.
right.
We are, our products are invisible. Say a civil engineer can show a building and say, this is my product.
Right.
I have built it. If There was no accident while building that product. A safety manager can only claim that we have done it without any injury or illness, but there is no proof
Right,
for that.
right, right. Very true.
This this is the most difficult situation for safety
Yes,
managers. But if there is any accident, then the whole blame will come on the safety
right.
managers. That safety managers, or of course, responsibility of accident is not with the safety managers; it is with line managers actually. But credibility, credit. So a real safety manager's focus should be influencing the leadership. The safety manager should have adequate knowledge, first of all. A safety manager becomes a failure if he or she does not have adequate knowledge commensurate with the length of period of the
Okay.
profession. Suppose you become a safety manager after 15 years. In this 15 years, if you have not updated your knowledge, if you have not having a good communication skill, then you feel difficult to convince the
Right.
management. But if you know standards, you know the rules, regulations, it becomes very easy to convince the management.
Okay.
So one area the safety managers should focus how to influence my leaders, make them understand the value of safety, make them understand that safety is an investment. That is one pain of the safety managers. They have to
Okay.
do it. The other one is how to make a culture. How am I going to look after the requirements of my employees? For example, the well being of the employees, welfare of the
Right.
employees, the requirements of the employees within the limited budget. How I am going to satisfy that. So this blending is what safety managers has to
Okay.
do.
Okay. Pretty challenging job for a safety manager.
Yeah,
But thank you, sir, yeah, for sharing these very credible knowledge so that safety managers can take a note of this. So, sir, let's shift towards the future. You know, let's
yeah,
see to the future. So, according to you, what is the future of safety leadership?
yeah.
Yeah, you can.
See, recently Waldorf University
Okay.
has conducted a survey among the youth who are coming to work after
Right.
graduation. Basically, the topic for the survey was what you expect from your
Okay.
leaders, the young generation, as you said, what for the
Yes.
future. So, one of the most important quality the new generation expect from leaders. Okay, you can connect it as a safety leader or any leader, for
Sure.
example. Especially, I'm talking about safety
Okay.
leaders. And why I said any leader, because this is applicable to all leaders. So the most important value they expect is trust. This was the result of the survey, that the leader should be trustworthy. Trustworthy, in other way, I can say, you should walk the
Right.
talk. Trust, you there are people or leaders who say something in
Yeah.
meetings, but they do just opposite while you approach them to sign a paper or to allocate budget or
Right.
something else. You speak a lot, but you do exactly opposite that the new generation doesn't want it. So they expect leaders to be trustworthy. The first quality in leaders they expect is
Okay.
trust. Number two, when it comes to the style of leadership, they expect a coach style of leadership. They want the leader to be a
Okay.
coach. So a coach who can nurture them, guide them, show them light,
Right.
who can like help them to achieve more in life. So I think these two qualities, and the third one they said is should be a good communicator.
Okay.
Communicator. So these are very very realistic
Right.
expectations of the next generation from safety leaders.
Perfect. Yes, sir. I think totally agree with the Gen Z. Trust is one of the biggest factor these days.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you for giving us your precious time today. It was really nice meeting you and talking to you. And thank you for sharing all your experiences with us. Any final words for the leaders you know, in India and across the world who want to make their companies safer?
Yeah, if you want to put it in words, I would say that to go home safely at the end of the working day is a right for every employee. It's not a privilege.
Right.
So leaders should understand this. The leaders should look at it that way, that when you go back home, how happy your family is. Similar kind of a family is also waiting for every
Yes.
employees to return home in the
Right.
evening. So if you go home back and see your family is happy that you are back,
Yes.
you are responsible that every each and every employee, irrespective of the rank, level,
Right.
it's all, we are all human beings, no?
Absolutely.
Rank, system, structure, everything comes
Secondary. Yeah.
after
Yeah.
that. Secondary, because even a worker, a lowest level worker is somebody's father, somebody's
Yes.
mother, somebody's spouse, they are
Yes.
waiting. So at the top level, the person who is sitting at the top level should be the ultimate responsible person to ensure that each and every employee who come to work for you reach home back safely at the end of the working day.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir, for those parting words. I think they struck a chord with me. Even I'm motivated now to make sure
Okay.
that I implement safety in my organization very seriously. So, thank you, Anil sir, for today's time. And
My
thank
pleasure.
you, everyone, for listening to our conversation today. I hope you all can take some key lessons from our talk and make some notes which are beneficial for you in the future. Until next time, stay safe and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.